Hey, happy Friday afternoon. How are you? I thought, I could write this out in an email and that would be just like excruciating and ambiguous. So I thought I'll just make a video because I've been making videos for students. So Scopus and Web of Science, as I said, are great and they're pretty straightforward. If you go to a particular journal in either of those, you can get some of those metrics as well. But here's the cool one for questions just like this. Under databases, used to be called Science Citation Index. Oh, I misspelled citation. I'm off to a great start. But now it's called Journal Citation Reports. This is actually part of Web of Science, or part of the Web of Science family of databases. They changed the interface last August, and I'm still kind of like not sure. So I have enough information to get you started. But if you want to meet, or maybe I could set you up with somebody who's like really familiar with this. But this is my understanding of it. So you can type in the name of a journal and see where it stands. But typically, if you go into a discipline, this browse categories, you'll get the context of all of the journals together, and you can look for the one that you're interested in. So let me show you. Oh, cool! You can go to browse countries. Ooh, that'll be neat. So go to browse categories. And it's a lovely interface, and you just scroll down to social sciences or wherever you want to publish. Multidisciplinary is really hot these days, so you can see what's good in other disciplines as well. But in social sciences, some of the large categories are there. If there's a discipline that doesn't show up in here, then that's where you have to negotiate where you would go. But let's go to sociology. Right there. So there's two indexes. Here's where we get into the mud, where I don't know what I'm really talking about. Oh, and here's the weird thing, is it puts you to the bottom of the menu and you have to scroll up. I don't know why it does that. So the two indexes, there's an addition. I imagine this is Science Citation Index or something like that, and this is another index. I don't know what's going on. But you can compare and contrast for both of those. What you can do is you can see the number of journals in each. And I can look that up if you want. It wouldn't be hard to look up either. But an interesting one is one of those lists doesn't have a median impact factor. I don't know what's going on. And the journal list is smaller. So if we went to the larger one, here's where it's really cool. And this is where we do all those measurements of impact if you wanted to quantify it. And this is useful if somebody's being hired, going up for tenure, you're assessing grants, and you need that kind of that more fine-tooth comb to go through things. There are indicators. The number of citations can be reflected as impact, and you can see American Sociological Review's got a ton. And this is a date range, I think, of the last 5 years. So, but I'm not sure. Here's again where it gets messy. You could go into customize. So if you're into some of the other measurements like eigenfactor, there's a whole bunch of different things you can do. Let's look at the 5-year. Of course, it's not letting me. Oh, there we go. I have to apply. My head was in the way again. So you could mess around with these and sift through these. The one that I found useful was you could go through these different ways of organizing, or you can click on these as well. And so if something is like really cited a lot, but then it kind of falls off, like the half-life, then you can measure it that way. Or you could just look in general at impact and all sorts of different things like that. The cool thing about this is then you can go into one of those. Let me look into qualitative research. I'll go into gender and society. These are the names of journals. Here's the serial number, and you can search for that in the library catalog as well. But if you go into one, then there's even more data. And it'll go in and talk more about the performance, and they'll have more explanations of things, and it'll give you this really cool impact trend. There's all sorts of cool stuff to look at to help you quantify things. I hope this helps. Have a nice weekend.